Well, what is happening, Kingston? Welcome back to the battlefield. Today we have a bloodbath of a battle here. So we are on Leipzig North, and this is a 4v4. Gonna be a vicious clash, guys, and you want to see a massive long line battle. If that's what you love, well, I can promise you you're gonna see it today. You're gonna see some awesome bayonet charges, some awesome nice volleys, leaving the battlefield laden with the dead and wounded, the screaming, and all for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, so anyway, let's get straight into the battle. You can see the French advancing here, which is an 8-point Egypt, a 9-point Rhine, and then on the other side you have a 8-point España, and then reinforcing way in the back here is the 11-point to Russia's center. So the massive army is going to be this guy right here. Man, and they have the huge amount of infantry, massive units, one of my favorite French armies to play. Look at how many troops they have. They can bring guard units. I don't see a lot of cavalry so far on this field, though. Seeing a little bit. I don't really see. There's some cuirassiers right here, and some dragoons. Yeah, but not tons of cav on the field today, guys. Carabiniers here. Some of the heavy cav. Can't talk, apparently. More dragoons. Now, this España, or not España, Egypt brought some very massive units. And I'm talking like these L2s, 278 men. These guys, who knows how long they actually can stand. But Egypt just has massive regiments. All their units are rather large. They have these sappers that put stakes everywhere. Now, of course, we are seeing the 9-point UK as well as a Austria. I know there's a 9-point Austria Russia as well, right over here. And then I believe there is one more UK. Yep, another 9-point UK here. So a lot of UK and a lot of Austrians potentially on this field today. Now you can see Austria does have cavalry. It looks like cuirassiers, at least one of them, if not two cuirassiers. Look at this massive Austrians trying to form up here. They have some dragoons, artillery as well. There's some cavalry trying to scout around behind the French lines, probably trying to see, you know, what's what. Where's the French army? You know, where are they mobilizing? We have some C7s, I think some Lancers. No, they're not Lancers. My apologies. Some lights chasing down these Hussars. And they do catch them. You got some Carabiniers running into the fray as well, as the first clash of this battle is going to start with Austria losing their cav. Now, not tons of artillery for the French. You can see there's an 8-pounder here. You can see, actually, the UK. Wow. The UK have 6 guns set up here. And some of these guns ain't cheap. I know that for a fact. Especially that first gun we saw. They have not a lot of UK infantry, but they do have some, and they do have cavalry as well. Oh, do we have our first volleys already? I heard shots. Shots being taken. I think some skirmishers may be trying to push away the enemy cav. But like I was saying, there is a light dragoon for the UK, a light dragoon horse.
We have taken the buildings up.
Don't see a lot of other cavalry. Buildings are getting taken, though. Let's see where all these buildings are. So this España is pushing up, taking a lot of LOCs. We also have the far other side, another LOC being taken. 2 of them. So this is going to be the left flank of this Egypt corps. It does look like 9-point Rhine has pushed up quite a bit. And actually, this may be the first clashings here for Austria and France. They're both pushing forward. Austria does have some grenadiers in their army here. Artillery looks to be firing here. Oh, these poor sappers got in the way of these 8-pounders. Rest in peace. Lost 1 man so far. But the rest of France is going to stand here, probably try to fight off. Looks like Hussars going to get charged again. But yeah, over on this side, it does look like España is going to be pushing up on their own. At least in the very beginning, they may be taking on 2. Looks like actually the 9-point UK, or UK is going to push up here. It looks like Russia, Austria going to push up into the center here. So España is going to, you know, have to deal with the UK by themselves. this doesn't look too good at this point. Like I said, Egypt is pretty far back in comparison to their ally, who has pushed up quite a bit and seems to have their artillery set up in a place they want to stay. Ooh, we're gonna get our first nice chunky volley. Beautiful. Wait, who's running? Who runneth? I don't get. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's those sappers. They got right in the way of the artillery. Man, did them dirty like that. That's so sad. Oh, here we go. Austria pushing up. Oh, look at this. Oh, the howitzer's even firing now. Now this battle's heating up. This is looking like a typical awesome Napoleonic battlefield. You got the roll of the muskets. You also have more 9-point Rhine pushing up to kind of support. Egypt is pushing forward to protect that left flank because the UK are descending upon this French left flank. This is going to be really interesting to see where this 11-pointer decides to go. They are probably going to have to deal with this right flank. There's a huge gap between España. We do have cavalry pushing forward. Probably going to try to go for those skirmishers. Hopefully they have a square. They do have a square. They're fine. And I think the Austrians saw that. This artillery, see, this is why you don't put artillery, in my opinion, you don't put artillery in the front lines. It's going to die to some volleys. They could have had it sit right back here. It would have been firing this whole time, blowing up the Austrian line, doing execution. And now you can put your skirmisher here a little bit back and have them just shoot directly in. The UK are taking their time to kind of push forward, and Egypt is now like, okay, well, you know, my ally's fallen back, so I don't need to push forward. And that's totally fine. It does look like the UK are advancing against España. España is going to sit outside of the town, not going to push out anymore. They're going to wait for their right flank to form up here. They got cavalry with their line infantry, and they are going to form up in a line of battle with some, looks like the 11-pointers cavalry to hover on the UK's flank. Now, that look like, yeah, so I'm liking this battle already, guys, because you see that the cavalry on both sides is being cautious. They're not just suiciding themselves into the enemy. They try to charge, okay, it's not going to work, they fall back. Nice artillery position, by the way, for this UK. Like, they have an entire flank that I know the guys are glitching back and forth. But look at this. This artillery, it's going to go directly here. They could shoot through the flank, like, boom. And they can hit a lot of troops all at once. France is falling back, though. As Austria continues, ooh, nice howitzers, continues to push. Now they're walking over the French dead and the artillery piece, which they just broke. They have a nice reserve line. The UK also pushing up, but they may be playing right into this Egypt's hands, because you can see now they are going to get some nice firing up. Now, I think Egypt could probably clear up like one of these units so these guys can fire through, because the greatest weapon against the UK is the artillery and skirmishers. Just my opinion. The Polish brought a host of artillery, though. Wow. I mean, there's 6 guns alone over here for the UK. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guns all on this flank, and I'm sure there are more for the UK over, or for, I don't even know. There's a lot of guns here. This is gonna be a problem. Yep, look at this. They are fighting chunks out of Rhine. Just biting chunks out of them. Here we got this fighting full tilt. Both sides are going to be fighting to the bitter end. You can imagine they're not going to probably want to give a lot of ground. Oh yeah, look at that. Even more artillery now forming up. Egypt is going to push up and kind of inch on this flank. That's a good thing. Now over here, it does look like the UK are engaged. They are engaged with España. They have some skirmishers. It looks like France is going to roll up with their artillery, and they can start, you know, puncturing, maybe putting some holes in these UK lines. The UK could win this, though. They have some good shooting, but they are, interestingly enough, already falling back. maybe it's time for them to turn these guns and face the Spagna. Because look at the reinforcing 11-pointer. Oh my goodness. That is not something you want to see as a coalition. Granted, you've not seen the Austria-UK, or the Russian-Austrian line yet. You see bits and pieces of it now starting to push forward. Man, you can just hear the roll of musket fire. You do see, man, this line is getting just obliterated. Look at the death. These poor guys have lost almost 50% casualties. The officer, even. The officer is down. There goes another one. 2 more, I should say. And over here, guys, the UK are going to do way better, but there's just so many units in each of these regiments, so many men in each of these regiments, that it's going to take a long time to chip them down. So that fight probably is going to last a very long time. Egypt is, or sorry, not Egypt, Espana is still pushing. The UK still falling back. And this may turn into, like I said, guys, a long slug fest. A long, massive line fight. Both sides just kind of exchanging volleys, exchanging the hail of death. Although France seems to be doing okay. I mean, they have started to have a little bit of, you know, death piling up here. But both sides are getting some nice volleys back and forth. Man. However, like I said, Austria look a little worse for wear here. This unit is definitely taking a lot of losses here. Oh, they do have some cavalry sneaking around, trying to go for that artillery piece, but getting caught out by the UK cavalry. Unfortunate for them, you know. It's probably tough to try to get past this ring of artillery. Okay, Austria does break. They're going to put forward a reserve. Oh, that artillery's fired. There we go. This is what I was talking about, guys. Artillery back a little bit behind the line. Oh, no, don't fall back to you. Oh, come on. Keep your men there. Don't let that artillery get, like, caught in the front line of fire. Oh, here we go, though. We have the 11-pointer pushing forward. Maybe, just maybe, they're going to go for the UK here. So you can see up here engaging Espana. This UK is actually in a very interesting predicament because they are separated. Unless the Austria-Russia can fill up this gap and defend this flank, get their artillery thrown into this gap, that's where I'd be throwing it. It's going to look pretty dire here. We'd have more cavalry throwing themselves into the fray.
Our men are running.
Unfortunately, not doing too hot. And the UK now starting to pressure this flank of Egypt. Egypt falling back. If they give way, though, the problem is, guys, at this point, any of these French armies that gives way at all or pushes too far ahead is going to either isolate their own flank so they can be destroyed, or their ally is going to be just outflanked. Here we go, though. A huge push by the 11-pointer. Oh, they even have some Trilliers. One of my favorite uniforms of all time. The UK, maybe you can stand and fight this. They have the Gordon Highlanders. And we do have the 9-point Austria-Russia pushing up to support UK's flank. But now Espana has the extra strength. And it does look like 11-pointer is, for the most part, going straight at the UK. They're going to have to be a little cautious. I mean, there is a lot of Russians and Austrians in this Russian-Austrian army. Shocker, you know, based on the name. We got some good shooters for sure. And more reserves here. This is going to be hell for France. It already is, I'm sure. It is just piecemealing probably the cavalry and infantry. Nice, like a bunch of skirmishers here. That's going to soak up a lot of damage without receiving a lot of damage. That's not a bad strategy, you know? Not a bad strategy at all. Austria is kind of wearing down. Like, Austria has taken some losses. The French have as well, though. Wow. Both sides, look at the death. And I mean, it's the same here, though. Both sides. That's pretty bloody. Oh no, artillery getting... Oh, never mind, that's not artillery. Here's the artillery, but the skirmishers getting charged. But this poor cav unit, they are not going to survive. They got just absolutely murdered by some light infantry of Russia. I'm just going to call them Russia so you don't get them confused with Austria too. But now that Russia has thrown themselves into this gap to protect the flank, this is ending up being a huge, long line. So it starts here, technically, right? Let's do a ride of the battle here. Oh yeah. Okay, we're almost to the halfway point on this line, guys. Almost to the halfway point. I mean, this side's kind of got more artillery and less skirmishers, but then, here we go. We got more and more. France is changing volleys once more with... Actually, looks like these guys aren't in range of each other yet. But then we have the UK, definitely in range of Egypt. And it stops at the river. So a very long battle. A very long battlefield. Which means that at some point, guys, someone is going to give way. And that is going to probably cause, unless there's reserves, it will cause a huge break. Let's see if Ryan can get a volley off on Austria. Advancing once again to the attack. I'm sure they will. They have to get a volley off first. Come on, fire. What are you guys doing? There we go. Oh. Well, that probably hurt, but now the return volley is going to drop several French soldiers here. Over here, oh my goodness, Egypt, or not, gosh, why do I keep calling him Egypt? España, you can see he's taking some losses. The UK, just accuracy and reload skill is just telling on Egypt. We do have some assault columns maybe pushing forward here. You have these push forward with the reserves. Oh, anytime you see this, guys, run. If you're on the receiving end, because this is bad. Now, the Highlanders may be able to take this better than most, but that is a lot. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful shot. You got the howitzer fire. Oh, the UK firing, and the masses of French infantry pushing up. France is going for a melee, guys. Let's see if the coalition notices it. Oh, and we have artillery. If they get canister off, this could actually jeopardize a lot of this fire, this attack. What is France going to do? Are they going to keep pushing? They have to at a certain point. They have cavalry pushing up, some dragoons as well. The artillery needs to fire. Oh, this is ballsy. And they got to the artillery before they fired. Holy smokes, that would have been close. Though you see that Russia is pushing back now. The UK are not, but man, they are ruining, like quite literally ruining the España. Both sides not firing. This is kind of odd. Yep, the Highlanders going to fall back here. Russia and the UK actually pulling back, letting... It's almost like the Battle of the Bulls. You know, things kind of make a little bulge shape here where the French start pushing in. Now, here's the game-changing decision here. Does France keep trying to push? Or are they going to walk into a huge shooting range? And I'd say they probably will walk into a shooting range. They probably should fall back from this, and you know, they need cavalry to follow it up. They should have sent the cav in first, in my opinion, and then push the infantry in front. Yeah, okay, they're falling back. Good. They're falling back. I mean, France is going to have to make some plays here because España is getting just absolutely shredded. UK doing an excellent job. 11-pointer definitely was wise to come to this side to help out. Now, I would focus with the French. I would put them right here. See this little edge? This, like, edge? I would focus everything right in that area. They're not going to be able to fire as well at you. It's going to be way better, more effective. 11-pointer falling back. He doesn't want to get just blasted. He wants to save his strength, his resources. And what a huge battle. And both sides still have plenty of cav. I've not seen a bit of Austrian cav play yet. Left side here, Egypt still holding the line. Artillery still firing on probably both sides. Artillery back here firing as well. Look at this, guys. These guys have barely taken enough losses. I mean, this is a perfect place for these guys. Artillery's hitting them, which this artillery should be aiming at, like, you know, other units around these guys. These guys will mass rout when everything else breaks. Austria is falling back just because, I mean, this line's kind of a little bit closer to the French line. If they went on an angle, maybe they could hit, you know, this line, but they've pulled back more closer to their guns. Or, that's terrible grammar, I apologize. Closer, a little bit closer to their guns. And, I guess they'll wait for the French to advance. They are winning this one just because the UK are shredding up the enemy. Espana's getting shredded, so they don't actually have to make an attack. The UK probably should fix this line just a little bit, though. It's looking a little wonky. Why isn't... I mean, France has not used their cav yet. I'm really surprised they have not used their cav. They have cuirassiers. They have carabiniers. They have some heavies. They have dragoons even. Any of that would do well, especially against Austria. And maybe they aren't, and this is me, you know, Austria has 2 heavy cav units. Maybe they're prepping for, you know, defending their lines. That's why the French artillery, if they have any, should be focusing on the heavy cav. Drive it back so it can't support the army. We may actually have some cavalry from the... Oh yeah, we have some cavalry now. Charging forward. Trying to save this line. The dragoons actually, I think, are going to save their artillery piece. Ooh, but oh my goodness, artillery is just destroying this side. Oh, they have the nice dragoons. This is one of the best dragoon units the French have, so awesome. Do we have some movement over here? No, just constant firing. Man, this is turning into a bloody battle, and it's all because no one is really truly meleeing. So no one's mass routing yet. Now we do have more cavalry charging in this poor artillery piece. France is actually probably going to lose it. Oh! They really, really want to. That's why I say, guys, anytime you put artillery in the center line, it is going to get destroyed. They will focus it down. They will, and if you put it too close, they can focus it down. That's a loss of, you know, well-spent gold. If they had it back here, I guarantee you the coalition never would have been able to get their hands on it. If it was just right back here. I see too many people put their artillery in the front lines, and it just doesn't do well. You can see Austria, I mean... They have their lines, they could probably push them up just a little bit more, but their artillery's back here. It's not like right here. You know, it's going to be very difficult for the French to actually get to it. There's quite, honestly, not a lot of breakage. A lot of time left in this battle, though. Oh, we may finally have some cav on cav action. Cuirassiers charging in these dragoons. Trilliers kind of caught in the middle. Oh, the heavies broke. Managed to defend their cav. That probably wasn't the greatest coordinate. Honestly, the heavies of Austria probably do better with the Russians over here. Charging in and letting the Russian infantry push up to support them. Poor Spania. Man, they've gotten quite a whipping by the UK. holding their own, but still, they have gotten just toasted. And look at their lines. But they are keeping the UK in place, and I think they are starting to make some wins here, breaking unit by unit, little by little. We do have, it looks like Russia pushing with Austria. We may actually have some more aggressive plays happening here. We even have a cross the air pushing forward. I bet you they're going to go for one of these units here. They have to. This is it. They have to push. There's a nice gap that's been formed. Here we go. Yes, finally some cav action. Don't disappoint. Oh, beautifully timed. Beautifully timed. That cav charge. That was a general nearby to help support. Now, where's the Austrians need to push forward some infantry. They are doing that. A nice counter charge by the dragoons. More cavalry can start pushing up. But you can see the wavering may start for the French line here. And those cuirassiers, oh man, they definitely started breaking. Oh, we do have a French bayonet charge. Some sappers getting in here, fighting some grenadiers of Austria, trying to hold this flank while their army's pushing forward. They have actually quite an important job. Oh man, Austria's not capitalizing as much as I thought they would. But they still are breaking a lot of troops here. Over on this side, Russia has pushed up quite a bit with the UK. France may actually get in a melee with them. Let's keep an eye out for that one. These cuirassiers probably are almost spent. Austria needs to make a move. Make a move, Austria. Do it now. Put those grenadiers. Oh, they have one more cav unit to charge in against Egypt. It'd be perfect. Now I do see France, 11-pointer. He is pushing up. Probably going to try to get, you know, he wants to close the distance. He wants to get into some melee. He sees Austria having all the fun. But unfortunately, Russia is watching. Russia is being very vigilant. Maybe it won't be fast enough, though. I bet you, yeah, France is going to use their cavalry. Start running down some of the Austrian troops. Some of the Russian troops. And France is going to get up there. Now, this is looking a little bit more messy now. More cuirassiers charging in now. We do have carabineers who are following up, counter-charging. They're trying to buy time for their army to reform here. And what a charge to reform. This is stopping the Austrian onslaught. Over here, France, yep, they got straight in here. We got dragoons going for the all-important, all-deadly artillery piece. Now, this artillery may shred them up. I don't think they're going to actually make it all the way through. But France is in melee with Russia. This is looking pretty good. There's a huge mass rout for this 9-pointer Russia-Austria. Oh no, the UK are now going to have to reform their lines. The 11-pointer has dug a knife deep between the two coalitions. Now Austria, like I said, they did have some gains here. We also have some cavalry looking to maybe try to break down this artillery piece. Can they do it? They're in a long drawn out column so they can get past these stakes. Oh, come on. Can they? Wow. And they're still going to take some losses here, but, you know, maybe worth it. Austria actually can start winning this one, but with Russia, Austria just breaking almost en masse. Honestly, I think France didn't take that many losses on that attack. They lost some cavalry, but that was about it. And now this battle seems to be breaking into sections here. So you have this 3 sections. You have this middle section, you have the right flank, and the left flank. And I don't see any coalition really truly winning right now. Now, like I said, England has been winning against the España, but now 11-pointer has a flank on them because Russia-Austria just broke. Looks like they are trying to fight their way, sending in cavalry, infantry, just trying to break the French, trying to maybe get a second wind here, but France is just being tenacious and running them down, not giving them that chance. And now the 11-pointer is splitting himself in two. One side is going to help España, one side looking to maybe try to hit this Austrian flank. Now, these skirmishers probably are mincemeat. These hussars, if they, you know, if they play right, they can just run down all of those skirms. Oh, we have another charge. Another charge. Austria. That's a nice charge. Is that the general? The general went in with his men. Wow, a ballsy gen. He's right in the front lines, guys, in the thick of it. The most dangerous place to be, and it is working. Now, of course, nice countercharge. Once again, the Carabineers saving their men once. Now they're going to try and save their line again. I don't know if it'll be enough. We do have this cavalry. This cav should have gone over here and helped with this side. Egypt is not going to be someone you'd want to believe that you can focus down. In fact, UK is wasting their time, in my opinion, on Egypt. They should be trying to focus down this Rhine player. Still looks like nothing really happening. The real action, guys, happening here. Well, once again, France took a beating, but they have held it together. They have held it together quite well. These Carabineers really helping to save this line. And now they're going to get themselves back to their friendly lines so they can once again save themselves. Now, Austria could keep pushing here. They almost got to ignore this 11-pointer who's rolling through the Austria-Russia. But, man, Russia not doing too hot, guys. Not really doing that hot. Now, you just have Russian infantry who will fight better than the Austrians, and we are seeing some countercharge that actually is starting to break the 11-pointer. So we may have Russia getting a second wind. I don't know how long it will last. And it does look like maybe it's going to stop here. Now this general can inspire some troops maybe and keep in. France keeps mass routing. That's probably not helping this whole scenario here. This cavalry did, it routed the Austrian general. What a unfortunate series of events. Such a brave Austrian general has been run down. Now you can see here, France may have hit a bit of a stone wall. He does have cavalry, I guarantee you, that can throw the balance back in their favor, and I think they finally are starting to win here. Cavalry, though, for Austria is pushing up as well. But at least it's good to see that Russia, Austria did not just roll over and die. They put up a fight. But you can see Austria is going to start wearing away. They don't have a general. Cavs now going to be charging the back lines. I feel like this UK player could have maybe done a little better of a job. I don't know. I really don't know. Egypt's someone you don't play against a lot. But this is turning into a French victory. In the UK, I mean, the UK are doing what they do best, which is shooting. So technically, you know, this UK player has been doing... But I think he could have been way more aggressive. I think he was not aggressive enough with his angles, just getting the nicest bang for his buck, as it were, with the infantry.
Now they must break.
Unfortunately, that general has been slain, and now Austria is just crumbling. That Carabineer charge just broke them. And we have basically the UK on both sides is the only one left. They seem to, you know, fight their own battles in a way. Both were not. It's not like they weren't doing anything, but I don't think it's. It obviously was a disservice to them. I think they could use their cav a little better earlier on, at least for Austria, maybe. With some UK coordination, maybe. I'm just spitballing here, guys. There wasn't a whole lot really to be said. There's nothing I could point out that was critical, like failure, to where that's cost them the victory. I mean, you could see, I mean, it was a bloodbath. The bloodbath of Leipzig. I'm trying to remember if the actual battle of Leipzig was a bloodbath or not. I'm trying to remember. Let's go and look that up. This UK looks like they're just going to get shredded up now. They're just going to form a little bit more or less of a box, I guess. And probably France could start meleeing the corners here and start just breaking them down. The same with this side. I mean, this UK player eventually is going to die. And España has kept themselves in the fight, guys. They never really broke. Ooh, look at this unit. Look at these dudes. I like it. Very nice. Okay, this is a crime. This much heavy horse not doing.
Units has used all its ammunition,
Oh man, this horse could have been used so much better. Why is it sitting back here? It should have been in the center. It should have been in the center, helping with the Austrian line. This may have been. I think the UK players were a little too defensive and only kind of defending themselves, not helping with the ally. That horse, I think, could have been used here. Now, maybe France. I didn't see España ever make some moves with their cav on the UK. But, man, that's too heavy horse. Like, that could have saved. It could have helped if they'd sent it to Austria. Austria could have rolled the 9-point Rhine. 9-point Rhine has, like, no squares, and they had 1 or 2 heavy cav. But that heavy cav would not have lasted very long if there was some extra horse that the UK had to help defend. And here we go. We have the defending new box. May just fast forward here because it does look like, you know, the battle's basically won.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
The UK are forming just some defensive boxes here, waiting for the French to come and get them, I guess. and also, I do not have the results of this battle, unfortunately. It was just posted with no results, so sorry about that, you know. One of these days, it will be fixed and I'll be able to see results again. I miss those days. I miss that version of the mod where you could just see that stuff. Ooh, we have the Highlanders. Where are you guys going? And the French have just surrounded this UK player. I will say, though, it is nice. Both sides played. I didn't see, like, any exploiting. I didn't see anything like that. No fimming, no unit dragging, no blobbing. So, you know, overall, probably a very satisfying and good game. And it makes me happy when I can see people playing fairly. You know, you win fairly, lose fairly. Both are an honor. One of them's less honorable. I'll let you guess which one. Oh, these Carabiniers of the Guard Royal. They're going to go up against the Highlanders, aren't they? Please tell me they're going to go up against the Highlanders. I want to see this. Some Guard versus Guard. I want to see this. Come on. Come on. Yeah!
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Ooh. Let's get it, boys. Oh, look at them sparring. Dang. The Highlanders are doing really good. Like, they are actually doing quite well. Like, I'm seeing a lot of Highlanders killing the Guard units. Oh, here comes some more Carabiniers. These poor Highlanders not going to hold now. Oh, the officer dies. Oh, officer v. officer. Violence here. That was an officer versus officer thing there. There was a sense of honor in that engagement. It's like, ah, you have a sword, I do too. Stab, you know. I'm gonna fast forward here because I mean, unless something drastic changes, it's just a melee and triggering mass route type thing. Although actually, we like last stands, don't we? This is gonna be one of those vicious last stands. You like seeing a lot of, you know, UK troops getting bayoneted. stabbed, stomped on. Flag bearer getting some action. Oh no! I regret watching that. Man, I didn't want to see the flag bearer die. I'd be a banner, like a flag bearer, you know? I'd carry the flag in a battle. Be that guy, be like, you know, follow me, and grab it and just go for it. Of course, it's easy to say I would do something like that until, you know, you're actually in a battle where you could die. Alright, I think it's the last unit here, this cavalry here, going for some poor heavies that, you know, probably been fighting for quite some time. And, ooh, they may actually break it. Maybe they'll end the game here. Yeah, they do. Alright, well, that is the Battle of Leipzig, guys. Not historical at all, but still a very enjoyable fight. And let's see the results, at least for the player that submitted this, which was Egypt. Oh, is this a general? Is the UK really running his general away? Don't be a coward. There we go. He's not running it away. He's sending this guy, this general's going in against the masses of French cav. Go with honor. You've lost the king's colors. The king's colors. So see, he answered with his life. That UK general answered with his life for losing the king's colors. Alright, well anyway, this I think was the Egypt. Yeah, this is Egypt. You can see he didn't get a lot of kills, guys. In fact, he got more losses than kills, but his units were so massive they could take it. They actually soaked up almost the entirety of that UK army. And the UK army probably was shooting really well too, and they just weren't able to do anything. So, well, that'll be the battle, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I don't have the results for the rest of the armies. I can imagine the kills were pretty high on both sides. But yeah. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. And as always, I will catch you all in another video.